What's up guys, welcome to the video. If you're wondering about my eye and you didn't watch our last video, I'm gonna link it below, but basically I picked a fight with a baseball and lost. Make sure to check that video out because it's actually looking a lot better. It was a lot worse. I think it looks pretty decent right now. But anyways, Fernando Tatis is one of the best players in MLB and definitely one of the most exciting to watch. Now I know every MLB player has their mechanics dialed in, otherwise they wouldn't be in the MLB, but I love Tatis' swing. It's so flawless. So in today's video, we're gonna break down Fernando Tatis' swing from start to finish, and then we're gonna talk about the approach that he takes at the plate that makes him such a dangerous hitter. What's going on guys, welcome back to Northern Baseball Training. If you guys are new around here, please hit that subscribe button below and click the notification bell so you don't miss out. I want to quickly take this opportunity to thank everybody who watches our videos because we just got a notification from YouTube that after 15 months of making videos every single week, waking up at 4:30 in the morning every week to record and edit the videos, that we're now able to monetize the channel and maybe make a few bucks off the videos. If you're unaware, YouTube has a criteria to monetize your channel and you need 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 hours of watch time in the last 12 months, which equals up to 240 minutes of watch time. So I just want to say thank you guys so much for watching. I'm going to continue to make videos every single week for you guys, more drills, more tips, more workouts, maybe some fun videos in there too as well. But if you guys have any videos that you want me to make, leave a comment below and let me know what videos you want to see. And if you are liking the videos, please hit that subscribe button below because only 90% of the people who watch the videos are actually subscribed. So if you want to help us out, please click it below. So back to Tatis. We're going to break down a swing and I'm going to point out some of the key points that we look for when we do our swing analysis on our players because the things that he does them so well. If you look at all the elite hitters in the game, they all have these key principles in common. That's what makes them elite. Even though every hitter's swing looks different, they have their own stance and their own style, they all have these key principles in common. So first, let's talk about the load. When we're younger, we're taught that the load is just a weight transfer back and then a drive forward. But what it really is we're gonna coil our hips and counter rotate our body and then drive forward and then release that coil at launch position. So we hop into a swing about halfway through his load, but the first thing we're gonna look at is his belt buckle starting to turn towards the catcher. When he started his swing, his belt buckle was faced towards first base a little bit more, but as he coiled his hips, it started to point towards the catcher. Loading back, he's coiling his hips. Okay, now he's gonna start his forward drive, but if you notice his belt buckle is pointing towards the catcher. So as he drives forward, you're gonna notice that his hands actually don't go back, they actually stay stationary. I know when we're younger, we're taught as kids that when we load, we wanna push our hands back. But what's really happening is our hands are actually staying stationary. It's our body is moving forward and your hands are staying in the same place. So he's gonna drive forward, his hands are gonna stay stationary. He's gonna create an elastic band effect with his hands and his lower half. As he drives forward, he's gonna keep his hips coiled. So now he's in the launch position, and we talk a lot about launch position on this channel, so I'll link those videos below. But all the principles that we teach in launch position, Tatis does so well. Starting from the ground up, his front foot is slightly open, his knees are bent, his hips haven't started to open yet, they're still closed and coiled. He's got a slight bend in this arm. It's not barred out like you see with a lot of kids. His elbow, his shoulder, and his hands are relatively on the same plane. Now the bat's facing the catcher, which is creating this angle on the bat. Chin is on his front shoulder. Everything that he does is pretty much flawless. So now we're gonna start his swing. So the first thing that he does is his hips start to open before his hands even move. Hips start to coil, hands are still in the same spot. The knob of the bat's gonna take a straight path towards the ball. His barrel is gonna come around like this, and then it's gonna get on plane with the ball. Okay, ball comes in this way, you want the barrel to come at a slightward upward angle like that. Elbows nice and tight to the body, barrel staying tight to his shoulder, above his hands. Barrel stays above his hands until he releases the barrel. Knee is driving underneath the hip, which is going to be underneath his head. His heels begin pulled off the ground. Like I said before, his barrel is going to come around like this, come at a slight upward angle towards the ball. Hands are always in front of his elbow. So now we're at contact. So things that we're going to look for starting from the ground up. Notice how his front leg is straight because he's pushing off the ground using it as leverage. Heels off the ground. His knee is under his hip, which is under his head, creating a straight line down his body. Hips are fully open facing the pitcher. Makes a nice L shape with his back arm. Elbows tight to the body. Shoulders are square. Head is locked in on the ball. Pretty much flawless. Now as he makes contact, you want to watch that he comes through the ball, extending out towards the pitcher. Now the only thing that I have to say about Tatis' swing, which is fine for him and it's fine, you see it with a lot of MLB players, but for our younger kids, it's hard to teach them to do this without not opening their hips. What I'm talking about is his back foot is at about a 45 degree rather than pointing towards the pitcher, which like I said is fine for him and for a lot of MLB players because they're really flexible and they can still have their hips open with their shoelaces not open. Usually if a kid's foot is facing 45 degrees, that usually means that his hips are facing 45 degrees. But you see with a lot of players, their foot isn't fully open, but their hips are, so it's totally fine. But like I said, it's just for the younger kids who can't have their hips fully open without their back foot being fully open. So now let's talk about his approach to the plate, because it's the same approach that I take and it's the same approach that we teach to all our younger guys, especially all the younger hitters who have a habit of trying to pull everything rather than using the whole field. In his interview with the MLB Network, he says that he hunts fastballs and he tries to live gap to gap, but he mostly tries to let the ball travel and hit it to right center. And he does it for the same reasons that I preach it. You can see the ball longer, you have a better chance of being on time, and you can recognize bad pitches and off-speed pitches sooner.
Mentally, what's your approach? I mean, when you're in the box, that guy's facing you one-on-one, what are you thinking about mentally?
You know, most of the time I'm trying to go gaps to gaps. That's my main focus, but like I'll say like 75% I'm trying to go right center field most of the time.
Right center. Right, why?
Just that keeps me locked in, you know, and that keeps me on the big part of the field. If I miss, I'm probably gonna miss big, so.
Right. That's what you want to miss right there. Left center, right center, right?
Exactly.
And are you big on letting the ball travel, or do you try to catch it out front?
No, I'm big on letting the ball travel. You know, letting the ball travel, see what's going on. You know, I never try to go out there just guessing.
Right.
I'm trying to go hit, you know, and trying to make some art.
No, hey, you're making a lot of art. Now, another thing about the mental side of the game. I know for me, I was big on hunting the fastball and letting my eyes tell me what's going on, you know, with the breaking ball or a ball up or whatever. Mm-hmm. Are you what's your approach as far as that goes?
I always go from a fastball, no matter who's there, because from that I think that's the great start to what the pitcher's gonna do. If you're on top of a fastball, it hangs something, you're gonna see it right away. You're gonna still have a chance to kill it. Yeah. So I'm a big guy on the fastball.
Stay on the fastball. To something off speed.
So every MLB player's swing is different, but they all have these key principles in common, and that's what makes them elite. And it's what's going to make you an elite hitter if you can dial in these mechanics. With these key factors in your swing mixed in with a good approach, a good mindset, and good hand-eye coordination, you can be a dangerous hitter as well. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you next week.